A séance has been held in the great house at Collinwood. A séance which has suspended time and space and sent one girl on an uncertain and frightening journey into the past, back to the year 1795. There, each of the Collins ancestors resembles a present-day member of the Collins family. But the names and relationships have changed, and Victoria Winters finds herself a stranger in a sea of familiar faces, and among the legends of the Collins family, which have turned to terrifying reality.
My dear, why don't you go to your room and rest for a while?
Your father's right, Josette. You can't do anything for Jeremiah. You've been sitting here for hours. You must be tired.
We'll let you know if there's any change.
Jeremiah's dying because of me. I won't leave him.
Oh, Josette. What?
Don't you feel it?
Feel what?
So cold. So very cold.
But I don't feel anything.
I do. And I know what it is. It's the presence of death. Jeremiah's going to die.
Josette.
You're tired. You don't know what you're saying.
I can feel the presence of death. It's everywhere. All around us. Jeremiah's going to die. Tonight.
I confess I'm frightened, Barnabas. She keeps saying the same thing over and over again, that Jeremiah is going to die.
According to the doctor, he showed signs of improvement.
She doesn't believe in the doctor. She thinks that Jeremiah is going to die tonight. I don't know. What frightens me most is she isn't crying or hysterical. She's just quiet. She's altogether too quiet, as if she's mourning for a man who's already died. As if she feels that she's responsible for his death.
Why should she feel responsible? I was the one that challenged him to a duel. I shot him. His blood is on my hands, not hers.
Yes, but she was the cause of the duel. And she believes that she killed him. She won't live past that guilt the rest of her life. Unless you pity her.
Me?
Yes. I mean, her only crime was that she was in love with Jeremiah, not you.
Perhaps it was.
Well, if you went to her and told her that, just told her that she wasn't involved in any way, and that she's not to blame.
You're asking a great deal of me.
I'm asking you to pity her. Help her at a time when she needs your help desperately. If you ever loved her, you won't turn away from her now.
I loved her.
Then
You
help
know
her.
that.
Help her. Make her believe you don't blame her for anything that's happened.
I'll talk to her.
Aha. I knew you wouldn't refuse me, Barnabas. Thank you.
Perhaps Jeremiah will recover, and he and Josette will live very happily.
I pray it will happen. Maybe some good should come out of all this.
Yes, someone in this house will be happy.
Monsieur Barnabas?
Oh, Angelique, how is Sarah?
Oh, she's playing with her darling, complaining about having to stay in bed.
She is getting better.
Yes, her fever's gone. In a few days she will be so well that she will have forgotten she was ever ill.
We're all grateful for that. When are you going to speak to Josette?
Where is she now?
She's with Jeremiah. Mrs. Collins is trying to get her to go to her own room.
Then I'll talk to her when we can be alone.
Well, she should wait for a few minutes, and she should be there. Then go and see her.
All right.
Are you going to tell Mademoiselle Josette the news?
News?
Are you going to tell her that we are to be married?
Angelique.
It will come as a surprise to her. But then I suppose it will surprise everyone. There will be those who will tell you that I'm not worthy of you. And perhaps they are right.
Don't say that.
I will try to be worthy of you, Barnabas. I will do everything in my power to make you a good wife. You do know that, don't you? What is it? Do you doubt my love for you?
No.
You must never doubt it. Because I do love you. More than anything in the world, I want to make you happy.
Angelique.
What is it? Why do you look so troubled?
We never spoke of marriage.
But we did. This afternoon. You told me you would make me your wife if I was able to cure Sarah. And Sarah has recovered.
Yes, but
But what?
I thought Sarah was going to die. I was desperate.
Is that why you agreed to marry me?
I didn't say that.
But you implied it.
What I meant was that I was thinking of nothing but Sarah. How could I think of anything else? Surely you can understand that.
I can only understand one thing. You promised to marry me if I saved Sarah's life. I did. And now you want to go back on your promise. Apparently, you do not want to marry me. And so I release you from your promise.
Angelique.
Forget everything that was said. I'm glad that Sarah has recovered. I didn't cure her to force you into a marriage you obviously do not want.
Angelique, believe me, I am very grateful.
Don't say any more. You said enough.
I didn't want to hurt you.
But you do not want to marry me. All right, Barnabas, please don't say it.
Don't cry.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I allowed myself to believe the impossible could happen. And now I know it cannot.
Oh, Angelique. I want to be fair with you.
There?
You know how I feel about Josette.
Yes. And soon she may become a widow, and you will be free to resume your courtship. That is what you're thinking, isn't it?
Of course not. Josette is married to Jeremiah. There can never be anything between us again. But I still feel the same way about Josette.
There was a time when I believed you cared for me. But you only pretended to care.
I did care. Long before I realized that I loved Josette.
Now I understand. I am only a servant. I could never hope for you to care for me as you care for a great lady like Josette Dupré.
That has nothing to do with it.
Don't say any more. I release you from your promise. I don't want to hear you tell me how little you care for me.
Angelique.
I love you. But you cannot love me, and you cannot accept me as your wife.
Can you accept me, knowing how I feel about Josette?
What difference does that make?
Can you?
I love you, Barnabas. I want more than anything in the world to be your wife. That's all I know, and all I want to know.
Then I won't break my promise.
Barnabas?
If you will accept me as I am, you will be my wife.
Barnabas. Oh, I'll make you happy, I swear I will.
There's only one thing I want you to promise.
Anything.
Don't tell anyone. I'll handle it myself.
You don't plan to keep it a secret?
No, I'll want to tell the family in my own way.
And you'll tell Miss Josette?
Yes, I want to tell Josette.
Why?
Because I do. Now, all I ask is for you to cooperate with me.
Whatever you wish, I'm willing to do. I will make that a practice throughout our married life.
Our married life.
I will be an obedient and devoted wife. I will make you happy, I swear I will.
Angelique, there you are.
Yes, my lady.
Mademoiselle Dupre is resting in her room. Will you stay with her in case she needs anything?
Of course, my lady.
Monsieur Dupre is very concerned about Josette, and so am I.
Well, naturally, she is worried about Jeremiah.
No, it's more than worry. He feels that you can ease her mind. He said you'd talk to her, will you?
Yes, but not now.
Why not?
Well, I'd rather not face her at the present time.
She needs consolation now.
I'd rather not face her now.
Barnabas,
Mother, please sit down. I want to talk to you.
what about?
There's something I want to say.
Yes?
I've decided to get married.
Get married? But who? Who will be your bride? Surely you and Cousin Millicent.
No. I have asked Angelique to be my wife.
Angelique?
Do you object to her because she's a servant?
No.
She's a very lovely young girl, and she will be devoted to me, and she will be a credit to this house.
Do you love her?
Would I ask her to marry me if I weren't?
Oh, I suppose you wouldn't, but
Can I count on you for support?
yes, if this is what you really want.
It is.
When did you ask her to marry you?
This evening.
When did you fall in love with her?
Oh, does it matter? The point is that I want Angelique to be my wife.
A week ago you wanted Josette to be your wife.
Josette is married to Jeremiah.
That isn't why you're marrying, is it?
No. Jeremiah and Josette have nothing to do with it.
Barnabas, I'm not going to tell you what to do. But are you sure this is what you really want?
Yes.
Things have been happening so fast. Our world seems turned upside down. I hope, for your sake, you're not making a mistake. A mistake you'll regret the rest of your life.
Mademoiselle Josette. Angelique, what is it? Is there anything I can do for you?
No,
Are you sure?
quite sure. Tell me, have you seen Barnabas?
Yes, he's downstairs in the drawing room.
Did he ask to see me?
No?
My father thought there was something he wanted to tell me.
Well, there is, but I wouldn't expect to see him this evening if I were you.
Why not?
Monsieur Barnabas is in a very strange mood.
What does that mean?
It's not important.
Angelique, do you know what he was planning to tell me?
Well,
Do you?
well yes, but
Well, what is it?
I mustn't tell you, mademoiselle.
Why not?
Monsieur Barnabas wouldn't want me to repeat it, and you wouldn't want to hear it.
Angelique, tell me.
Well, I shouldn't, mademoiselle. I'll get in trouble with Monsieur Barnabas.
Barnabas will never know that you told me. I won't tell him. What was it he was going to say to me?
Well,
Angelique, you must tell me.
he was going to tell you that he forgives you.
For marrying Jeremiah?
Yes.
Did my father tell him to say that?
Well, they talk together, that's all I know.
Barnabas doesn't forgive me, does he?
I believe he wants to.
But he doesn't.
I told you, mademoiselle, he's in a very strange mood this evening.
He hates me, doesn't he?
Hate is a very strong word.
But appropriate.
No, let's just say he doesn't feel quite the same way as he did.
Be kind to me, Angelique. You know the truth. He hates me. It's little wonder. He and Jeremiah were the best of friends until I came to this house. Now Jeremiah is dying, and it's because of me.
Oh, you mustn't blame yourself for everything.
Who else can I blame? Turned friends to enemies. I wanted to bring happiness to this house. Brought nothing but unhappiness and bloodshed. No wonder Barnabas hates me. I hate myself.
Oh, you mustn't talk that way.
Why not? It's true. Wish I were dead.
Don't say that.
Angelique, please leave me alone.
Are you sure there isn't something I can do for you?
Please leave me alone.
All right.
is he?
Very low. For a moment ago, I thought he stopped breathing. But Josette may be right. He may not live through the night.
Has he been conscious?
No.
Perhaps it's just as well.
Well, did you, speak to Josette?
Yeah, no.
Why not? You said you were going to.
Yes, and I will. Tomorrow, perhaps.
Well, why couldn't you speak to her tonight?
Well, because something has happened. Something that I must tell Josette. And I couldn't do it tonight. If I spoke, it might come out.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'd rather not say. You'll know about it soon enough, and so will Josette.
You don't hate her, do you?
No.
Do you mean that?
Yes. Perhaps I should hate her, but I don't. I can't.
Do you forgive her?
Yes, I suppose she couldn't help falling in love with Jeremiah.
And Jeremiah? Do you forgive him?
I want to.
Do you?
He is Josette's husband. I cannot forget that. As hard as I try, I cannot forget it.
You were the closest of friends. He's dying, Barnabas. For your own peace of mind, try to forgive him.
I am trying. For moments I succeed. And then I realize that he stole Josette from me, and that all the bitterness and hatred comes back. I wish it were not so, but...
Wait. Is he breathing? I can't tell.
Who is it? Who's there? What do you want? Answer me. Why won't you answer me? What do you want? Jeremiah, what are you doing here? Have you recovered? Why didn't they let me know? Jeremiah, why don't you talk to me? Why don't you answer me? Jeremiah? Jeremiah! Father!
Josette, what are you doing here?
Just saw Jeremiah.
What?
I just saw him. He was in my room.
But that's impossible.
But he was there. I just saw him a moment ago. He behaved so strangely.
No, Josette, my dear, you couldn't have come into your room. No, you must have dreamed it.
But he was there. It wasn't a dream.
Josette, my dear, Jeremiah is dead.
Dead?
He died only a moment ago.
But he couldn't have. He was in my room. I woke up. The clock struck 2. Looked over to the window and he was standing there.
When the clock struck 2.
Yes.
But the clock was chiming the hour when Jeremiah died. 2 o'clock was the exact moment of his death.